This is the Business Experience Show with Lisa Caprelli, where we talk to entrepreneurs about the challenges and successes of starting, owning, or operating a business. Hear real-world advice from consulting professionals, marketing strategists, and business owners. Our team brings real-world experience with a splash of personality, adding an entertaining flavor to business talk. The host, Lisa Caprelli, a business owner, marketing consultant, and motivational coach. She has personally spent over $1 million on radio advertising and is here to share everything that has taught her. And now, from the right-brained marketing hostess who connects all the dots, the Business Experience Show.
Welcome. I'm Lisa Caprelli. Joining me today is Joe Dorsey, an entrepreneur with expertise in financing, international fulfillment, and design apparel. Also, Cole Smith, an author, consultant, and entrepreneur who works with some of the biggest companies in media and publishing through his company, ELOC Network. Today's show is all about the young at heart. Remarkable teen Jack Andrea is an inspiration to us all. At the age of 14, he researched and developed a new method for testing the early presence of pancreatic cancer, and he just happened to win the grand prize at Intel's International Science Fair doing it. He will join us later to talk about it, but first, we have an extraordinary musician and entertainer who conveys heartfelt emotion in every song he sings. The incredible Jimmy Hopper. Welcome, Jimmy.
Hi.
Welcome. How you doing?
Thanks, everyone. Nice to be here. Thank you.
So you really seem to inhabit many of the songs you sing. Can you describe that, being in the songs that you're in?
You mean the ones that I write, or
both? When we see you on stage, you just portray whether you're Sting, whether you're Frank Sinatra. I mean, we can close our eyes and believe that's really who it is.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's. I think I've always been very passionate about everything I do musically. So, and I've always had that in that business aspect of it. I mean, taken away from the side of being a musician. But you know, if you're going to do something, you better do it right, and you better give 150% at doing it. And I know how to sell things that way. You know, musically. So and vocally in that way.
You know, it certainly sounds like you're totally into your music when you're performing and stuff like that. And I'm sure you are. Well, tell us a little bit, like, what got you into this career? I mean, you know, everybody wants to be a rock star, and then our parents tell us, you know, that you're not going to get there. Was this your first choice, or where did it really come from?
I had no other choice. It's, I started singing at age 3. Didn't even know that I was out in the backyard swinging on the swing and singing my little heart out. I don't even remember any of that. But my mother tells me that the neighbors would come by and tell her, "Oh my gosh, Dot, he's got the voice of an angel. He's going to be a singer someday." And but
you were the family musician.
That was me. And it's funny. Out of high school, I went to business college, and I also studied court stenography. I was going to be a court stenographer because I'm great with my fingers.
Oh, really? I was a court reporter early on as well.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
It's interesting. You couldn't even get into the school unless you could type 85 words a minute.
Wow.
But you know, me and my fingers and the piano. But after 2 years of that, I decided that
wasn't quite as exciting.
Just music's all I've ever known. It's all I've ever lived for. You know, man. I mean, that and my family, of course, my wife, my children.
Tell us about your mother and father. Were they musically inclined?
No, my father. What's funny, my father. You know, I come from a family of 7 brothers and sisters, and my father, although was a military man, but my biggest fan. He left this world 20-some years ago just by accident, and. But he could sing. And he used to walk around the house and whistle. And, you know, and I'm a pretty good whistler myself. And I always thought, geez, my dad's got a very pretty voice. He'd sing, but it was never a part of his life. He was, military all the way. And my mother thought she could sing and just was terrible. She sounded like a cat in heat. I'm sorry, can I say that?
Yes, you can say that.
And just terrible. She literally was probably one of the first young ladies to be thrown out of the Catholic choir when she tells that story, and I'm like, Ma, don't tell that story to anyone. Your son's a singer.
Right. So, one thing I always admire when coming to see Jimmy, and Jimmy, by the way, Jimmy Hopper, he plays at the Ritz next to Fashion Island, Newport Beach, Wednesdays and Thursdays. He's also at the Island Hotel, where I've seen you so many times, in Newport Beach Fridays and Saturdays, and your lovely wife is often there. Is she your biggest fan?
She I don't know if she's my biggest fan, but I'm definitely her biggest fan. I don't even want to perform if she's not there. I just love having her around, and she makes me look good. You know,
Jimmy, how did you get your career started? When did it start? I know it was at age 3, but when it really became a career?
You know, I don't really think it. I mean, I worked a lot and performed nightclubs for many years, but I think it really kicked in when I finally hit Las Vegas in '99. Mm-hmm. I was going from place to place. I was working in a really cool room up top of the Western St. Francis in San Francisco when I was approached by a good friend to this day now, Anthony Marnell, which was the builder and the owner of the Rio Hotel. And he called me in San Francisco, says, I'm building a room for you. It's called the Voodoo Lounge, and I want you to work it. And I said, great.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Remember the Voodoo
So
Lounge?
you
that place.
You played there?
I opened it up.
You opened it up?
That's
okay.
That's how I became Entertainer of the Year and all that. That was my first year there. But it was funny when he came. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when he came, when he called me, he says, "Okay, it's done." I said, "Great. When do you need me out there?" He goes, "Now." I live in San Francisco. Now?
Yeah.
He says, "Yes." I said, "How about like 60 days?" He goes, "How about 40?" I said, "Okay."
Did you already have a set that you were going to play, or did you perfect that to present day?
Do you mean when my show?
Yeah.
No, this is really strange, and
okay.
I'm letting something out of the bag here.
Okay.
I shoot from my hip all the time, unless I'm with like a full orchestra and we're in like the large performing arts centers.
I want you to talk briefly about your song from your original album. It's called "I Love You."
Mm-hmm. That's written about the lady sitting next to me,
yes.
my wife.
Give her name.
Her name is Sherry D, and my beautiful, beautiful wife. You go to my website, you'll see pictures of us everywhere. Aren't we on there together?
JimmyHopper.com.
Yeah. And,
so tell us about the song "I Love You."
It's a song that from my heart, because I love her with all my heart and soul. But it's about how she likes to sleep. Mm-hmm. And she likes to sleep more than me, and so she doesn't know sometimes that I'll just watch her sleep and think about what she's dreaming, and and down the hall I hear the sounds of an angel's cry, which is really the next room over. It's a little baby like crying. So that's what that means, and I can see that in her eyes, and when I see that in her eyes, I can see it in the baby's eyes, that sort of thing. So that's what that one verse is down the hall I hear the sounds of an angel's cry.
So
they are angels, little kids.
How does your beautiful wife overcome all the women who just adore you, like me?
I think it's because I love women that come see me, and I draw a lot of women, but that's because they know I'm safe.
Yeah, that's true. And you do make that clear.
I go out and I play with them. I sit in their laps. I do the worst things. It's funny what you can do with a microphone.
That's right.
You have a microphone in your hand, guys.
And we want to talk when we come back from break about Jimmy the businessman, because you are a very savvy businessman. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to play Jimmy Hopper's song called "I Love You." We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Business Experience Show with Jimmy Hopper, JimmyHopper.com.
Woke up today, a feeling came over me. Watching you dream the way you do, I lay there a while, wondering who you see. And it's cute, 'cause you haven't got a clue. Remembering again the first time we met, standing there with a gleam in your eyes. It's amazingly cool, the years we have spent. And every time I think of it, I cry, singing, I love you. You know I do, yeah. Oh, I love you. Yes, I do. Woke up today, a feeling came over me. seeing that new life in your eyes. Down the hall, in the next room, I hear the sounds of an angel's cry. Well, all I know is what I know, my heart give it all to you. It's one thing I'm truly, surely of. You're the air that I breathe, the wind sail all the seas. And every time I think of you, I cry, singing, I love you. You know I do, yeah. I love you, oh. Sure, there's times when I get upset with words that are all too cruel. That's what I do. But it's in one ear, praying out the other. Cause deep down inside you know there's no other but you. Don't you see? Woke up today, I feel it came over me like nothing I've ever felt before. I see a new little face with the same gleam in its eyes, and every time I think of it, I cry, singing, I love you. Yes, I do.
Run your business, or is your business running you? Does technology make your head spin? Have competitors with better internet marketing taken your new business leads? Are new customers finding your business like they did in the past? Your website should reflect the difference between simply handing out business cards and exchanging business cards, then following up with potential customers. eLock Digital Media, heard weekly on the Business Experience Show, can help you. Teaching you to skillfully blend technology with old-fashioned values is the first step in a strategic process of identifying your needs and laying out a plan which creates solutions. Attend one of our training classes in your area and see how it works by participating in a think tank environment where you learn hands-on while interacting with other business owners. Create your own digital and social marketing solutions to better manage your marketing and branding needs. You can find us at elockdigital.com. That's ELOC digital.com.
Welcome back to the Business Experience Show, where traditional business practices intersect with outside-the-box thinking on the road to success.
Welcome back to the Business Experience Show. I'm Lisa Caprelli with Cole Smith of eLock Network and entrepreneur Joe Dorsey. We are talking with musical entertainer Jimmy Hopper.
Hey.
Hey, Jimmy, I got a question real quick. Okay. First off, that song's fabulous.
Thank you, man. That's one of my favorite tunes.
Straight out think about my daughter the whole time. But I got another question. I'm curious of what you were saying about the microphone.
It's just funny how at night you can, and I'm married obviously, but you sit there with a microphone and you can say anything to women. You sing to them. You go, hey, you walk by them when you sing in, and they go ahead, grab my butt, and they will. And then but you see that same person the next day in a coffee shop, you go, hey, want to have a coffee? They're like, get away from me, you geek.
I'm in the wrong business.
No, right.
It's all about the microphone, I'm telling you. Yeah. Without the microphone, you're nothing.
Hey, Jimmy, how it's clearly that you're passionate about music. You sound great. I've seen you many times. And how do you mix the two between business and your passion and separating those two? Because that's clearly a lot of problems that a lot of business owners have, and you just happen to be an artist.
That's true, and I'm a really good numbers guy. My wife, she just gets amazed sometimes. We can walk into any arena, something that holds 50,000 people, a performing arts center that holds 2,500 people. We're getting ready to go to Nebraska next month for a performing arts show there. But I can walk in and just look around and go, how much are the tickets? How many seats are here? And just start figuring out that end of it right away. What's going to be made,
right?
And that sort of thing. But in a business sense, I've just always been able to do that numbers wise. However, you can mix the both together. I've never used in my entire life. I've never signed with an agency. Not that I have anything against agents. And now with the new album coming out and all these things coming up, there'll be all that kind of stuff, I'm sure, because it's on a larger scale. But I've always been able to do it myself. I've managed myself.
That's great.
And even the people that I'm around now, some of the people that I've, Ron Alexaberg and the Steve Thompsons in the world, these people have Grammys, and these guys are amazed by me just by saying, gee, you really know your business end of it, and you can almost manage yourself. And I'm actually going to manage myself just for a little while, and then I'll have a little say-so in everything. I don't want to be... I want somebody to actually take that over and handle that. But I know how to do it. And you have to do it in a savvy way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you also have to be kind and good and let people know that you're not out there to just milk them.
Right.
Well, now that you're doing your own management, I'm sorry. Why don't you doing your own management? What are some of the problems that you find with being your own brand?
The only problem with that is, and then I've also had people to help me in this respect. It's hard to go out and sell yourself. No one wants me to sit across from Lisa and go, Lisa, do you know how good I am? Lisa, do you even know how many people I'm going to bring here tonight? I mean, do you know what I'm about? You can't do that because they're like, no, I don't want to hear it. In other words, you can't toot your own horn. You just
Very
can't
true.
do that. So people have to sell you in that respect. Tooting your own horn doesn't work in business.
Right.
I mean,
So we are vouching.
And music is business.
Where do you want to go, Jimmy? I mean, I know you've started in Vegas. You're here in Southern California. What are your plans? What do you see about as far as expanding yourself and your brand and your music? And
I want to go far away with my wife on an island and just hang for about a month or two.
What would be the name of your island? You could name your island.
If I can name my island.
Yeah.
Nasty Girl.
Nasty Girl. That's the name of one of his songs we're playing later.
Yeah, it would be Nasty Girl with a master's degree. So
Right.
it's always good to have.
Yeah, good to clarify. Yes, intelligence is sexy.
Exactly.
Right.
She's not an open mouth gum chewer. I really want to start doing performing arts centers. I love doing performing arts centers. That's what I was saying, how I shoot from the hip.
Yes.
In those kind of venues, you just don't shoot from the hip. You can't. People come in, they're paying a ticket, the curtain goes up. We really know, you have to have a scripted show in that respect. Where the orchestra, everybody knows where I'm going to speak, the next song, where I'm going to try to make a joke, I'm going to laugh, try to get the audience this or that. But it's interesting in places like the Island, and it's a little more casual.
Yes.
The band are always like, what are we doing? I don't know.
Follow my lead.
I always know the first song and that's it. And they're like, you're kidding.
Wow.
What are some areas of your career where you've invested time wisely and areas where maybe it was a mistake?
Just name one.
We invested
Yes.
lots of money into a restaurant in Las Vegas.
Okay.
That was at the time was Trader.
Okay.
It was called Trader Vic's. You've heard of Trader
yes.
Vic's, and it was right at that time when the market started really going down, and Trader Vic's was a little bit more in the expensive end.
It sounds like that hit you in the gut there.
It hit me really hard. Yeah, really hard. And then now Trader Vic's is now Cabo Wabo.
Okay.
And we're still partners in that a little bit, but. In the business world, if you don't see your investment come back, you've made a big mistake.
Yeah, but those are great learning lessons. You won't do it again.
You know what? I've had days and nights where I've cried myself to sleep because of it. But then you have to just
let it go.
Let it go. Money can always be made, and you got to wake up in the morning and just look over at your wife and kiss her and thank God that you have your health,
right?
Because that's the most important thing. Because if somebody came to me and said, hey, you invested this hundreds of thousands of dollars in this. You want it back, or do you want to be sick?
Right.
It's like,
well, learning those tough lessons. Was there like a particular moment in your career that really impacted your career? Was there like a negative or a positive moment?
The negative would be, the bank's going, you have no more money,
yeah.
And the positive would be, it's never going to do that again. Not, I'm just in a jokingly way, but everybody's made bad investments.
I don't know many people that have had a perfect life, making perfect decisions, always money going up. That's part of life experience.
Find a successful business person; they'll tell you there's been plenty of mistakes.
Yeah,
right.
And I haven't made too many. I've been very, very lucky. I'm blessed because I give 100% like you.
How do you massively overcome that desire? Because I know you have that in you.
What is that?
How do you massively overcome the desire to say, okay, yesterday it was a bad day, today's a new day, I'm Jimmy Hopper, I'm going forward? You
know what? You have to look around. You have to look around and see the other people that are struggling, and be thankful that you're still up on the top there, and as far as the top is where I'm at, but that's what I'm thankful for. There's a lot of my buddies in Vegas that are struggling right now, and I'm talking great musicians.
Wow.
So, and I just continue to just work and make a great living and do the right things business-wise, and I get private events and corporate events, and so
what's most important?
Ball rolling.
You're a talented guy.
Thank you.
And do you see the operational side your biggest challenge in your entertainment career? You were saying something about you wanted to be in the Performing Arts Center. Do you have plans? Are you looking at trying to do those things? I'd love to see you in Performing Arts Center.
Well,
it'd be a shame for people not to see you out there.
It's the best venues. They're the best venues. Look, I don't think I'm going to be the kind of up and coming singer that's going to be filling stadiums. Although I've sung at stadiums with 70,000 people in before, but that was just for 30 seconds, for 3 minutes when I sang the national anthem for like a Chargers game. I do a lot of.
But you never know.
I do a lot of anthems, and that's my biggest crowd. It's like 71,000 people are looking at me right now because they have to. They have no other choice.
Right.
They have to, and they've got to stand up. But Performing Arts Centers, I love doing them. It's me because I sing. I sing Italian opera. I sing Broadway. I love that. When we go to New York, we're hooking up with a couple of venues at the Carlisle, the Feinsteins, and.
Do you like shocking your audience? Because you can go from Sting to Sinatra, rock to opera.
Yeah. That's throwing that curveball. I think is what keeps me.
We're in awe. People are in awe when you do that. You go from high to low, you switch.
What are some of
this guy?
What are some of the fun ways in which you've connected with your audience?
Oh,
besides microphones.
Yeah. Well, really, with what you just said about throwing them a curveball, I love doing that. I love getting up and singing. Well, first of all, no one ever expects a guy that looks like me with tons of makeup and spikes his hair, doesn't look like he's ever put a comb through it, that sings Italian opera. People go, whoa, what was that? And then turn around and do something from Zeppelin or some kind of rock tune. I love seeing the audience react.
What's your all-time favorite song written by another artist?
Oh, I tell you, the song that I love doing the most right now, I love doing lots of songs, but I really, really love singing The Prayer by Andrea Bocelli. I love singing Italian opera. And you know what?
And you sing it very well. And you have your violinist with you.
Mira Holmeek, and a wonderful violinist. Gary Bruno on the guitar, great guitar player. But enough about me, Lisa. Let's talk about you. What do you think of me so far this evening?
I think.
Oh, you're great.
I think that you do.
He's looking at me like, what the heck was that?
Turn it around.
No,
How do you keep in touch with your fans?
This is one of my favorite shows so far in ever. But go ahead.
It's easy now, you know. You have Facebook, and I respond to everybody. You know, I have a girlfriend on the East Coast that my wife and I love together. We've known her for years, and she's kind of like a PA in a sense, a personal assistant that answers some of the things. But I answer all my Facebook things. I'll always just saying, you know, I've sent things to you.
Yes.
You know, it's always like, thanks, doll. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the support. You have to remain humble in this business.
I love that you said that. That's one of the traits I've seen of very successful business people is that word humble.
Do you know how much that means to people when you are sincere,
absolutely.
when you just answer them?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll just I'll be sitting there watching Fox. Is this a Fox?
You could say
I love Shepard Smith. He's a silly little catfish.
If you could do it all over again, what would you change?
Nothing.
If I could do it all over again, I don't know that I'd change anything. You know, it's late in my career that these great things are happening. However, the aspect of you make choices when you do this. You either go all original. I'm going to do all original music, and I'm going to wait tables, and I'm going to sleep on the streets because I'm never going to get a deal, or I'm going to do both. I'm going to try to do originals and covers and make a good living and take care of my family, and that's kind of the route I've taken. So I don't know that I would change anything I've ever done. You know, I just wish I'd have met my wife earlier.
Yeah, it makes you who you are today.
Very impressed
everything
by
our
that.
past do.
What is that?
Everything in our past makes us who we are today.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Who gets to ask the question before we're going to
just
talk
one
about
more?
your
I've got
song,
1,000
Nasty Girl?
Let me ask myself a question.
Okay, yes.
No, I'm just.
Put us on the spot, you know.
What do you want to be known for? And then we're going to talk about Nasty Girl.
I'd like to leave this world knowing that my family truly loved me, my children loved me, and that and some of my fans that I did something to their heart. I hear that a lot, you know, that you really brought. I've had people come in and say, you've made my wife and I renew our vows. It's like, but you're so old. No,
okay, tell us quickly. I have to change this. We have to talk about Nasty Girl, and thank you for sharing. Love is the beautiful, magical word of all lifetime.
Well, Nasty Girl sort of speaks for itself, you know. I've been how's it start? I spent a lot of time in bars and met different women, different persuasions. But when I saw you walk through the door, you know, you changed all that. You know, so why don't you shut the door and be my nasty girl? You know, with a master's degree, though.
Yeah. Did you add that in your song?
Degree's important.
And tell us the name of your song and where we can find it.
Well, this is the bad business end of me right now. We're not sure what we're going to call the album. We're thinking about calling it Rock From Under a Rock.
Okay, here's the song. You're listening to the Business Experience Show. To see a live sample of Jimmy Hopper's Las Vegas performance, go to thebusinessexperienceshow.com. Thank you, Cole Smith, Joe Dorsey. I'm Lisa Caprelli. We're going to play Nasty Girl for you. Thank you for listening to the Business Experience Show. We'll be right back after Nasty Girl.
Website, they'll find all our music.
JimmyHopper.com.
Your hair was blonde and so fine. A look of love in your eyes when you saw me. Your lips the color